Thomas and Friends. Thomas and Friends Take Along Adventures. Episode 9. Donald and Douglas's Visit to the Works. Rosie was just puffing into the docks. She saw a long line of freight cars. There was Rickety, 2 trucks, and a brake van. Is it time for me to go? Said Rosie. Indeed, said Craigie. Okay then, said Rosie, as she puffed down the line. She puffed down the line and passed the turntable. Rosie had just passed the turntable. And was soon puffing over the level crossing. Okay now, said Rickety, I have a plan, my friends. What is it? Asked the trucks. Well, we're gonna play a trick. Well, yeah, said the trucks, we know that, but what type of a trick are we gonna play? Well, when we approach the viaduct, we're gonna push her down the hill. Okay then, said the trucks. But all the trucks agreed to do the plan, as well as the brake van. Rosie soon arrived at the viaduct. She was now headed for the final Bay Bridge, and then it was the viaduct. Oh no, said Rosie. I'm being a little scared. Well then, said Rickety, just go on. I don't mind about you. Okay then, said Rosie, and she puffed up the hill. Oh, said Rosie, it had been just a few seconds, but she was now going in rocket speed. Whoa, she said, I've never been going this fast before. Ah, she said as she went into the quarry. She braked just in time. Then she went to shunt her train into the quarry. Don't cause any trouble from now, said Rosie, and she puffed away. Then she rolled behind through the fire station and popped out the other side in Ellsbridge Station. Now, time for me to shunt you guys over to Donald and Douglas. Rosie pulled up the train in a siding, and then he puffed away. Donald and Douglas were soon arrived to couple up to the train. However, the spiteful brake van wanted to get revenge. So he took over Rickety, and soon he was making a plan. Douglas puffed over the drawbridge, then Rickety, along with the other trucks, and Donald, as well as the spiteful brake van. Said the brake van, I need some plan. I have some plan, guys. Yeah, right, said Douglas as he puffed into the side. Give up your plan anyway. Okay then, said the trucks as Donald began to shunt them. Soon the trucks were shunted into a siding. Oh man, said the spiteful brake van, I wanted to get revenge on Douglas, not Donald. Ha ha ha, said Donald. We said you would fall for your trick that easily. said Donald as he puffed away. And with that, Donald went to rest. Meanwhile, Donald had put the trucks in the wrong siding, so Douglas had to shunt them. Oh man, and where? Oh my. Do I have to shunt it from where the spikeball brake van is? Yes, said the driver. Because you won't want to go inside the buffers, do you? No, said Douglas. But Douglas was lazy, and she let her drive, and she quickly moved to the front of the train. Hey, what was that for? Said the driver. The driver decided to push him forward, but Douglas had been already coupled up to the trucks. Oh no, said the driver. Wait, Douglas, did you say oh no? Because I should say oh no. Anyways, so you're pulling back. What? Oh no! Said Douglas as he began to crash into Donald. A moment ago it had been just a regular yard, and now it was a total disaster. Oh no, said Donald. Oh dear. What? Said Douglas. I think we're in a lot of disaster now. Luckily Murdoch was nearby. Don't worry, I'll get some help, said Murdoch as he turned on the turntable and puffed down the line. Murdoch soon got rocky. Okay now, said Murdoch. Time to, pull you guys up. But then Murdoch began to pull one car engine, aka truck, at a time. None of the trucks needed repairs, so Emily took them away. Aha, said Rickety. I finally won. Don't you mean I won? Said the spiteful brakeman. Ha, ha, ha. However, for Donald and Douglas, their bodies had been mixed up, or at least that's how the engine said it. Oh dear, said Arthur. You guys might have to go to the works. I'll take you to the docks. Bolster will take you. And they puffed away. Well, said Bulstrode, at least I'm not thinking, as he began to roll away. That night, all the engines were upset. Donald and Douglas were not at the sheds. They knew what had happened. But then Murdoch arrived. Guys, good news. What's good news? Said Neville. I mean, how could there ever be good news here? Well, said Murdoch, Donald and Douglas, they're coming tomorrow. Hooray! Said all the engines. That's great news, said Percy. Agreed, said Edward. Can't disagree, said Rosie. And all the engines went back into their sheds. Sleeping peacefully. It was 24 hours later. But one thing was different. Donald and Douglas were in the shed. The end.